y'all. So, when you wrote me and you wanted to know if I ever joined a gang, and the answer to that is no, hell no, absolutely not. Okay? What was funny was growing up in Beverly, New Jersey, where I grew up. I thought it's called a Dodge City. It was different. It was more like there's the Beverly guys and the neighboring towns guys. So there was the Bronx City boys, there was the Willingboro boys, there was the Palmyra dudes, and because we didn't, like, Willingboro was a lot bigger, actually big enough to have several gangs if they wanted to, but for some reason our area wasn't gang territory. We didn't have any Bloods or Crips or anything else. From what I hear now, I hear Willingboro does now, even Burlington. I hear there's a couple of gangs close by now. And I don't even remember hearing about Camden having any, although they may have, but I never heard about it. And anyway, so the crazy thing was that they would get into beefs. So, for example, there was a beef started at a Palmyra football game, which is where most of the Beverly guys went to. Some of them went to a school called Votech, which was a vocational school. It was a trade school. The other one was college prep. You go to college afterwards. So, but anyway, so I didn't know nothing about this because I didn't hang with the Beverly guys, the Beverly boys. I didn't hang with them like that. I knew them. I was friends with some of them, cool with some of them. Some of them I hated, whatever. But I'll never forget, we pulled up to the school one morning, and all the Palmyra guys that I knew were all lined up outside the doors. I was like, the fuck is this? One guy, he had a brick and a bottle. He got off the bus talking shit. He threw the brick, missed. He threw the bottle, missed. 3 dudes was on him right away. All the Beverly guys are rushing off the bus. Everybody is fighting. And I'm like, this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for me. And I remember later, one guy had said something to somebody that didn't do nothing. He was like, the next time we get in a fight and you don't do nothing, I'm going to fuck you up. And he was one of those guys that was kind of cool with them. But, he would hang, but he really wasn't with them like that. And, of course, they didn't say nothing to me because they already knew Tyrone wasn't part of that shit. But you see what happens when you do that? Like, it was almost like it was a gang without saying it was a gang. So that gang gets out, fights that gang. They all getting their asses kicked. And then I have to worry about where I go. So, you would talk to somebody like, yo, we about to run to Burlington, check these girls out. You want to go? Man, they looking for me out in Burlington. Nah, man, I can't go. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to have to say that shit. To look over my back, look over my shoulder, to be worried just because I wanted to be cool, just because I wanted to be hard. And like almost every single one of them guys never made nothing of themselves. And that's the reason why I never joined that crew or gang, whatever you want to call it. I just don't believe that, it's worth it. I know that, gangs out there, a lot of times they provide a family environment for a guy that may not really have a family, may not have a father figure, may not have an older brother. So you got guys that are older than you and a lot older than you, teaching you how to be a man and stuff like that. But I don't think it needs to be done that way. You know what I'm saying? So that's your answer. Never, ever, ever join the gang, and I don't suggest it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. Especially ones that are violent. If it's just a gang of friends, like my brother, for example, he hung with a whole crew. They had to be maybe 10, 15 deep or more. There was a lot of them, and that was his crew. Like they all did not hang without each other. It was just, they were like a big family, and they were really close. And then funny thing was, my brother and one of the other guys had fallen out, and it split up the whole gang. all the guys, he split them all up. And they don't even hang like that. I asked one of them one day, and he was like, "Yeah, man, we don't really hang like that no more." It was like Eugene and Jerry. It was like they were the glue. You know what I mean? I was like, man. So, yeah, if it's a crew of friends, that's fine. But if it's a crew of friends and you're involved in a bunch of shit, like, you know, my town was only 1 square mile. Okay, so it was very small. So all the guys that knew each other, they hung together, and they were a crew or a gang. Like, almost everybody was selling drugs. Almost everybody. How does everybody in town sell drugs? You see what I'm saying? Like, it was that bad. Like, everybody sells drugs in that 1 square mile. And, you know, there's a point where they all got arrested for selling drugs. Some of them are career criminals. They just keep going in and out, 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 in and out. I'm like, I can't think of nobody. One dude that I know of recently, he got out, he cleaned himself up, and he's actually he's a fitness guru he's doing his thing down south. But I can't think of any. Well, okay, there was another guy. He got out, came out Muslim. He don't fuck with none of that stuff no more. I'm talking about the hat. He got the robe, the beard, the Malcolm X glasses. He is in. He don't do nothing wrong no more, from what I understand. And that's all I can think of right now. There may be others that got out and cleaned their shit up. It's just that I don't stay in contact with them, so I wouldn't know. I just find out through the grapevine when someone tells me something. So, there's your answer, y'all. Tyrone Magnus has never joined the gang. 1 million subscribers. Woo!